So let's go back to the Saturday matchups. The 4 o'clock game. Rams, Packers, these lines are up to date. We just refreshed the site, so we're all good there. Alrighty, here we go. Rams, Packers. We predicted this game at Packers -6.5. And folks, there it is, -6.5. Absolutely perfect. 1 for 1. I mean, if we can guess all these right, 4 straight, I'll take that. I'll take that. So Packers -6.5, exactly where we were thinking about. So our thinking is right on par with Vegas's thinking. Jared Goff. Now, does this line signify Jared Goff playing? Well, last week I thought it did, and it didn't. So what's that? What's that about? We were wrong. What? So this week I don't know. I honestly can't tell you. I would assume Jared Goff would play. I would assume, but I assumed that last week, and he didn't. He did play, so I guess it was half right. He just didn't start the game. So, all right. Packers -6.5. I think it's the better play here. Under the 7-point hook, that's exactly where you want to be. I think this Packers-Rams game is kind of going to be like the Packers-Titans game a couple weeks ago, where the Titans were looking good, and then they come into cold Lambeau and absolutely flounder. I honestly think that's how this game's going to play out. I can't really see the Rams being competitive. The Rams, their defense, if they can hold Aaron Rodgers, and that's something that we do know of Aaron Rodgers. If he gets frustrated early on, he starts throwing picks, he starts going 3 and out on kind of back-to-back, even back-to-back 2-back possessions, then the Rams will win all day, because that's the Packers' MO. Get a little lazy, get a little, frustrated in the offense, and then they start going wild and can't move the ball consistently. And, they really throw the ball a lot, especially to pick up first downs. They're heavy on the pass to pick up first downs. They don't really like to run to pick up the first down. So that's why we'll have like 3 straight passes by Aaron Rodgers, go 3 and out. He comes right back on the field, 3 more passes, 3 and out. And that's when the collapse of the Packers offense really starts to happen. And the Rams have all the ability to force that to happen. But I don't think it will, because I think Jared Goff's going to absolutely flounder here. The defense of the Rams may be stopping the Packers, but there's no way that this Rams offense can consistently move the ball, especially on this Packers defense. It's pretty good. It's a solid defense. I wouldn't say top 5, but I would say top 10, maybe even top 7, maybe number 7, maybe number 6, right outside of top 5. You can make your argument, and I would probably agree with it. So Packers -6.5. I think it's absolutely fantastic. No worries. They'll put up the points, and you get the 7-point hook. That's exactly where you want to be. So Packers -6. I think that's the early play here, but we'll come back at you live with our official picks tomorrow on tomorrow's show. Alrighty, Ravens and Bills, and we predicted this game at Ravens -3, and it's Ravens. Whoa. Ravens are getting points here. That's a little shocking to me, honestly. So we're a little wrong. We kind of flipped our thinking of what Vegas is thinking. But I think we have to go of what we just saw. And in the fourth quarter, they allowed the running game to get going. And, because the Colts were throwing the ball kind of early in the game, but this Ravens team, all they do is run the ball, so they're going to be running it from the first quarter. So by the time the fourth quarter comes, it's already going to be online and already good to go and already gouging the Bills defense. So I think this is great value here with the Ravens. I would take the 3 in a heartbeat. Give me the points here, especially last week. How did you not blow out the Colts, folks? I mean, the Colts struggled mightily against the Steelers and the Jags the last 2 weeks of the season, but they had success on the road in a playoff game against the number 2 seed Bills. Red flag there. The running game of the Colts, another red flag. Another red flag of Sean McDermott trying to be a little bit too trickery, and it doesn't need to be. The Bills offense has been fine. Folks, they've been averaging like 40 points a game. It's truly remarkable. So he doesn't need all the trick plays. They give up the runs. It's not good, and we're getting 3 points here by the Ravens. Say no more. Say no more. We'll take it. Ravens +3. That's going to be a pick tomorrow. Spoiler alert. There it is. Hammer it now. I think that's great value. I think that's real great value. I think the Ravens have a great chance of winning this game outright. And it's just going to be unfortunate. I mean, the strides that the Bills made this season are fantastic, but it's still going to be a huge blow if the Bills lose. This is kind of Super Bowl or bust, especially in the fans' eyes. They think they're the best team in the league, and I would kind of agree. But the way that this Ravens team plays, the way this Buffalo Bills team struggles a little bit, not the greatest. So it sucks, man. I do want to root for the Bills. I have been rooting for the Bills, but this Ravens team, they're special. They're spectacular. They get the job done on the road, at home. It doesn't matter. If they have to throw the ball, they will. But, the Bills, they've been giving up the runs a little bit these last 6 weeks. We went back to week 13, still giving up the runs. Now, the one silver lining that you have in those games is you pretty much won all those games and won them mightily, but it's still the bottom half of the league teams that the Bills face, and they still let the runs go. I mean, this Ravens team is easily top 3 in the league. I think we have them at number 3 in our power rankings, maybe number 4, maybe number 3. But this is a top team in the league, and they run the ball as well as anybody times 1,000. Unfortunate for the Bills, truly. If the Steelers won last week, the Bills would have no problem against the Chiefs, and I would have taken the Bills I would have taken the Bills minus like 3 points at the Chiefs. It would have been like that, but they got the Ravens. They're kryptonite. It's unfortunate. Sometimes it's just who you face. It's not about who you face. It's about when you face them. And this Ravens team right now, they're pretty good. They're pretty freaking good, folks. Alrighty. So, Ravens +3. That's fantastic. Holy cow. That's good. All right. Here we go. Going on to Sunday's game. Sunday's 3 o'clock game. Browns-Chiefs. We predicted this one at Chiefs minus... Whoa! Great value again! Again. Holy moly. Take it. Hammer this one. Browns +10. Are you kidding me? Yes, Browns +10. I absolutely love this. Chiefs didn't play week 17, hurt the Steelers, didn't play last week. I mean, that's 2 weeks. That's a little rusty. Maybe takes a quarter for them to get going, and we see what the Browns can do in a quarter, 28 points. So if the Chiefs come out even a little flat-footed, it's going to be a wrap from the get-go. Plus, we're getting 10 points. Now I know I have prefaced this when we were talking about the lines that the Chiefs have really kind of won by 2 points or by 2 possessions really in all their games. A lot of backdoor covers, a lot of backdoor scoring that made it closer than it was 1-score game. I get all that, but this Browns team, they came to play. They came to play last week, did fantastic. They were good in the fourth quarter. So, 28-point lead in the first quarter. How the heck do you play that in the second quarter? We saw them put up no points in the third quarter. Game's a little close in the fourth quarter, 2 possession, and the Browns come back and score a touchdown and a field goal and another field goal. So putting up points in the fourth quarter, that was probably the most impressive thing that the Browns did all game. They get their coach back, so there's just so much momentum on this Browns team. I will take the 10 points with all that momentum. The Chiefs, they've got no momentum. What's their momentum? Super Bowl winner? AFC number 1 seed? Okay, but you haven't played in 2 weeks. So I think there's going to be a tad rust there. A little bit rust. And any team would, not playing in 2 weeks. So Chiefs here, -10. They probably win the game. They could win the game, but this Browns team, they could win the game too. This Chiefs team hasn't been blowing anybody out. The games have been, 10 less points, maybe 14 less. 14-point wins for the Chiefs, 10-point wins, 7-point wins, 3-point wins. Nothing too much of a blowout. This Browns team, they're hungry. They've got the momentum. Baker Mayfield is playing fantastic. The running game of the Browns is fantastic. The defense of the Browns is fantastic. The Chiefs, they're throwing to tight ends and Tyreek Hill, so they don't have any, great wide receivers. They're throwing to a tight end. They're throwing to a 5'11" who is very fast. I give them that. Wide receiver. So it's not like the Browns are going to be outmatched. On the defensive end of the ball, they might be outscaled a little bit by Travis Kelce's, great catching ability and Tyreek Hill's speed. But at the end of the day, it's not like the Chiefs have no flaws or any kryptonite or anything like that. And the Browns, they've been able to put up points all season. They put up 40 against the Titans. They put up 40 against the Steelers. This team can score the ball, and they can score on defense. They can have short field. So all that being said, I think it's way too much momentum on the Browns side this week, and we'll take the 10 easy. That's easy. Give me the 10 here. I'll take the 10 and live with it. Alrighty, Saints Bucks, the last game on Sunday, 6:40. We predicted this game at Saints -5.5, and it's going to be Saints -3. Ooh, okay. All right, so Vegas is thinking that the Bucs have gotten a little bit better since their last meeting in Week 9, and they probably have. But I think the principles still stay the same. I mean, Tom Brady hasn't been getting better. He's still missing kind of wide open throws, 50% completion percentage. I mean, not great, not good at all, really. I think Mitch Trubisky had a better completion percentage than that. I think Jared Goff had a better completion percentage than that last week, and he completed 9 passes. So, whoa. All right, microphone malfunction, but we're back. Just like that. All right. Yeah, so Bucs, I can't trust Tom Brady. Can I trust Drew Brees? Not a lot, but I think a little bit more than Tom Brady. Tom Brady on the road. The Saints defense is absolutely eating him alive. 5 turnovers, 5 interceptions by Tom Brady. I mean, when was the last time you've ever heard that, whether in a game or in an entire season? And he had it in 2 games against a division rival. Tom Brady, this is what he's wanted. He wanted to leave the AFC to come to the NFC. Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers are like, this kid is out of his gourd. He's out of his gourd thinking he could come and compete with us, especially year 1. We don't care of all the weapons that you have. We don't care. We've been in the NFC. We were raised. We were what's the phrase? You were raised in the darkness. I was born in it. Something along those lines. That's what the Saints and the Packers are thinking to themselves. Tom Brady, you've got a cushion over there in the AFC, but once you're over here in the NFC, things get real. Quarterback play is a little bit more competitive. You know, it's Jared Goff and Russell Wilson battling it out and still putting up a ton of points with not 200 yards. Tom Brady really can't do that, you know? He needs, 300 yards if he's going to put up 4 touchdowns. Can't be Jared Goff 3 touchdowns with like 104 yards. So Saints -3, I think it's fine. The defense should eat Tom Brady alive. The Bucs are struggling a little bit. They struggled against Washington's defense. I mean, that was an 8-point game. Tyler Heineke was slinging it around a little bit. Defense clamps up at the end of the game on the very last drive. The Saints offense, it's a little worrisome, especially what it did last week. It definitely is a little worrisome. At least the Bucs, that offense was pretty much solid the entire game. 31, that's a solid points right there. 31, I'll take that. Definitely in a playoff game. I mean, the Rams put up 30. They won the game. I'll take 31 for the Bucs. But it's going to come down to, Tom Brady. I think he's going to flounder. He's not going to look good, and a lot of people are going to be criticizing him. I mean, the last 2 meetings, if you're doing it back-to-back and, even better the second time around on the road, Saints holding the Bucs to only 3 points, 4 rushes the entire game. Tom Brady, 3 interceptions, no touchdowns. I mean, that's just a morale booster for the Saints here. They're going to be licking their lips. Tom Brady probably going to want to play a little bit better, maybe forces some things a little bit too much, knowing how poorly he's played in the last 2 meetings against the Saints. So Saints -3, I think that's a real good pick there. Real good pick.